Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
All right. We have an old rabbit hole today.
I have a royal rabbit hole.
It's royal and it could be ancient. Royal and ancient. Kind of like that's what the golf course at where do they play the British Open? They play it at St. Andrews, and
Oh,
it's called the Royal and Ancient.
interesting.
Royal
Oh,
and Ancient.
that's really interesting
Yeah,
because maybe that's one of their ways of revealing the method.
totally. That's what I think this episode is about. It's
That's what it's,
revealing the method.
yeah,
What if Dracula is real?
right.
I think that's kind of what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking
The
about.
elites might be vampires,
Uh-huh.
and they might be ancient vampires.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
Gnarly.
It's gnarly to think about that.
It's kind of gross. It's a
It is pretty
bloody
gross.
mess.
It is.
And not, oh my gosh.
Maybe that's what
Maybe
abortion's
that's,
all about.
well, maybe that's where that like slang term came from. You
What
know how the Brits like to use that, like,
bloody.
it was a bloody mess, darling.
Yes,
You know,
that's why
maybe because
they drink blood.
they drink blood, they're all based in vampire history.
Totally could be.
So, this idea kind of came to me when I was thinking about how evil some of these people are, like the evil elites. And I don't know why, but for some reason, like the first image that always comes to my mind with those two words, evil elites, is Killary.
Killary. She
It,
totally seems like she could be like an ancient vampiress.
yeah.
Like it makes me think of the Game of Thrones.
Oh,
So,
okay.
in the Game of Thrones, toward the end, there was this one witch, and she makes herself look super sexy.
Oh,
But then when she's all by herself, she's looking at herself in the mirror and she's an old ancient hag, but she's
interesting.
able to shapeshift into a beautiful woman when she has to.
You know what? That's so weird because that's sort of an ongoing theme in a lot of stories and like fairy tales and stuff.
Yeah,
Like that was even kind of
Snow White.
yeah, and that was the theme in Tangled. Did you ever watch
Tangled,
Tangled?
that's
The
right.
mother, remember how
That's
she
why
was
she
this
locked her in the
old,
tower.
yeah, and she had to like um, harness her youthful energy, remember? And she would become beautiful and young.
That's right.
Isn't that sort of revealing the method?
Totally. Why
Yeah.
would they just that they didn't just invent that. That's like a total revealing of the method there. And then adrenochrome, you've heard all the stuff around that of how they
Drink blood from young, scared people.
young scared people like
Hmm.
they torture them so that they'll like they have to emit this like
Adrenaline,
adrenaline into the blood and then it's like
which is so
it's
sick.
tasty
Like
then.
they can't even just like drink their blood. They have to like torture them first.
Yes, because you have to get the essence.
I feel like this episode might get like banned off of the internet or something because
Most of ours do.
yeah, this one's like pretty gnarly unless we become unalived, which that that could happen too.
Whatever.
Um
My clone will keep going.
but yeah, so we started talking about this idea that what if the elites are actually vampires?
That's right.
What if they are, all this talk about them drinking blood and stuff? Like, what if that is the whole story, like all the stories about Dracula? What if that was based on truth, not just some made
Yeah.
up story? And there was truth to these Dracula stories that we've been told all these years. And what the truth could be is that these people are actually drinking blood and living for hundreds of years because of what they're doing, or they've got some kind
Totally.
of,
Like I took a class in college because I did film and literature. So in my literature part of my courses, I had to take a class called Gothic Imagination.
Oh,
And it was about how in the 1800s there was all of these horror writers that came out, like
yeah.
Mary Shelley and
Frankenstein.
Bram Stoker.
Hmm.
He wrote Dracula, and then they wrote I
Do-
can't remember who wrote it, but
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I'm wondering if those were all revealing the method of these culture club individuals that lurk in the shadows that really run the show.
Hmm.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde could be maybe revealing the method on like how people could be severanced, maybe.
Oh, right.
Because he becomes Mr. Hyde and he goes and does horrible things, but then he comes back and he's the mild mannered Dr. Jekyll.
So maybe this idea of being severanced has been around for a long time.
Because you have to be able to go carry out evil shit. And a lot of people, they can't deal with it.
Well, you don't have to do that, but in order to do that, you either have to be a psychopath or you have to have like no recollection of what you're doing in your other life.
I think some people are kind of born into the culture club
Yeah,
and
I
they
think
just
so.
kind of have to deal with all the evil that they have to do. And maybe they learn to severance those people.
Yeah,
So it's like, well, you're gonna have to do evil, but we're gonna make it so that you think you're fishing all day.
totally.
You know,
Totally. So the question is, are we being ruled by ancient psychopaths?
I think it's conceivable.
I think it's conceivable. I totally
What
do.
I would, well, because a couple episodes ago, we said, could history be wrought with psychopaths?
Yeah.
That was kind of one of the things that we kind of thought about,
Could
like,
history be wrought with psychopaths?
because if you think about it, we got psychopaths running us now, and history seems to repeat itself.
Right. And I don't think that the psychopaths that are ruling us now, like, just all of a sudden came about. Like, I don't think just suddenly in the last, like, several years or even 50 years that the psychopaths appeared and decided to rule the place.
No.
I think there's been probably psychopaths all throughout history who have, and
Okay.
that's how these things have come into place because they've kind of laid the groundwork for always ruling everybody by being a psychopath.
And there might be some method by which you can align yourself with Satan and prolong your life, but you have to constantly be doing his bidding.
Right. Well, that would make sense too, because this is why those people don't want to die. They want to live forever
It's
because
important.
they have to stay here doing evil stuff in order to not burn in hell, I guess. You know what I mean?
Because it does suck. And I think that they know that, because my understanding is that God has put the truth in our hearts. So even those evil people know the truth. So I think they intuitively know that when they die, they go to hell. They try to act like Satan is the good guy and they're aligned with the winner, but they know that's not the truth. They have capitulated because they want money and power.
Right.
And so when you do that, now you give yourself over. I'm wondering if maybe once you've completely given yourself over, like Killary, you can maybe drink blood and stay alive for a long time and maybe be alive for several centuries. And maybe Killary is able to shapeshift.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person, but I'm thinking maybe she can shapeshift.
Well, I think a lot of them can, and we'll get back to that. But what you just said kind of made me think about this idea that, you know, they have, I think what they do is they make some kind of deal with Satan. And so they have to be doing these evil things. And if they want to renege on their deal or stop doing them, um, they will, I guess, die, but they'll end up burning in hell. And I think that's what the agreement is. So, in order to stay here and to continue doing their evil, they have to keep doing it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And so they have to keep doing it. And so that's why maybe the elites are able to rule from generation to generation because um, it's the same it's the same psychopaths
Yeah.
ruling.
Yeah. So we keep saying we keep seeing the same families, that continue to be able to rule over us. And I was thinking the other day how odd it is that, I mean, what are the odds that somebody would become president of the United States and then a few years later that person's son also becomes president of the United States? What are the odds of that happening?
With 350 million
Slim
people
to
in this
none.
country.
That is not something that's going to organically happen.
Or how
You know what
about
I mean?
like Trump's daughter marries that dude who looks like Sam Neill from The Omen,
Jared Kushner.
Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
So she marries him, and Trump pardons that dude's dad because he was a big scam artist.
Yeah. I mean, there's all these ties that it seems like the all of the culture club and the elites, they're all tied together
It's
in
all
some way.
nepotism.
It's all nepotism. They're all tied together. When you start looking into like, you know, the history of people in basically all of them in these positions of high power, they all seem to be tied together in some way.
And then they also have bloodlines
They
too.
have bloodlines,
They have bloodlines that they diligently keep.
which that sounds kind of creepy to me too. Just even the word bloodline. So,
And a lot of them, like Ilhan Omar, they do like incest.
yeah, they're into incest. They got to keep their bloodlines pure. And, you know, they they have like I think their bloodline is like a really important thing to them. Like they've got to keep all of their
And why would that
stuff.
be? Why
Why
could
is that?
if why couldn't they just have a merit-based system where it's like, well, the person who's best at that job does it? No, it's
Right.
all got to be nepotism and bloodlines and who's in the culture club. And I'm thinking it's because you can't have somebody who just decides that they want to do the right thing.
No.
You can't have
No,
somebody do
you
that.
can't take a chance on that.
No.
Somebody might be like a good person and just like,
You know what? I
nah.
don't think we should like kill babies. And it's like, well, you're not going to be able to come to these meetings
So
anymore.
for all of these evil things to keep happening, like, years after centuries, I think it's gotta all be like kept in like these bloodlines where all of these people are related or they're somehow tied to each other
Yeah,
and they all know the drill, you
they
know?
know the drill. They know the drill. And that suggests also that they don't think for themselves. These bargains are made that make them beholden to Satan. They have to do what they're told.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see diabolical plans being carried out across centuries,
Right.
perhaps. Because you'll hear people talk about this, but they'll be like, "Oh, dude, Andrew Pike talked about that already." Like this guy, and I think his name was Andrew Pike or something like that. And he was like an 1800s like culture club member, and he wrote that World War III was going to be between that country from 1948 and the Muslims.
Oh,
And he said that's going to happen. And he wrote what World War One was going to be about, what World War Two was going to be about, and what World War Three was going to be about. And he wrote that in like the 1800s. So how does that happen?
right.
How does somebody write down a plan that gets carried out to a T a century later, unless there's ancient entities controlling maybe even ancient people,
Right.
maybe people that are like centuries old, that
Yeah,
are like loyal servants to Satan.
exactly. And think about I was just thinking about like the castles and the palaces like so
Oh
King
yeah.
Charles has all of these castles and palaces that he lives in,
Mhm.
and they were built in the 1700s. That one, Windsor Castle, was built in 1070.
Yeah, so it's over 1,000 years old.
Super old. And it was probably all like his family, you know, and even the family name is obscure. Like we don't ever really hear like
Yeah, that's
their
right.
real
It
last name.
wasn't Windsor. I heard that they came from the Khazarians, actually,
Like, why would they change their last name anyway?
because they blend in. That's one of the things that they did when they didn't have power is they would chameleon-like blend in and change their names,
Chameleon, like kind of like lizards.
kind of like lizards. Do you subscribe to the idea that some of these elites are actually lizards, or actually reptiles? Could be.
I don't know. I mean, I like to keep an open mind,
I do too.
like we said.
I think it's more likely that they're vampires. I think
Yeah,
vampires might be. I don't think vampires is something that some Irishman made up.
yeah,
Bram Stoker didn't make up vampires. Vampires are actually revealing the method in some way, shape, or form.
right.
I'm
I
convinced.
think so too. I think that when we hear these stories and like fairy tales, um, I don't think that they just pull this stuff out of thin air with imagination. I think there's some truth to it. It's based on some
I'm starting to
bit of
see
truth.
that's kind of the paradigm with
Yeah,
narratives.
right,
There's always a kernel of truth in what they're showing you.
right.
And so, like, even some a simple movie that you watch, you're thinking, oh, that's just a, like
That's just a
Blade Runner.
fictional,
That,
like
Philip
made
K.
up.
Dick just made that up.
Yeah.
No. I
Mm-mm.
was thinking about that with Bond, with
Yeah.
James Bond. Like, Spectre is not just some fictional villain.
No.
There's all of these have kernels of truth.
Yeah.
So why would vampires be any different?
I think so. I mean, I think also didn't you say King Charles was actually from Transylvania?
Well, well, Alex Jones said that.
Okay.
Alex Jones came out and he said, and so Alex Jones is a perfect example of how they come out and they reveal the method. They tell you truth, 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 but then Alex says, but it's nothing to do with the country from 1948.
Yeah.
Shut up. By the way, I'm well endowed. Anyways, Alex Jones said, King Charles is actually related to his bloodline goes back to Vlad the Impaler. And Vlad the Impaler is a real historical figure who lived in like Hungary and Transylvania area and fought off the like third world barbarian hordes, like Muslim hordes that fought back in the, I guess he was probably like in the 1100s.
Wow.
Or, interestingly enough, I think Vlad the Impaler lived around the time that that castle was built, 1070. What
Whoa.
if there's a connection there?
Yeah.
But then what Alex suggests is that King Charles still has a castle in Transylvania, and
How
children
convenient.
children have gone missing from the area
Right.
mysteriously that he might be drinking blood. And people have who worked close with him that were like butlers and stuff have come out suggested such.
Wow.
So, I mean, why would they just make that up?
Right.
Did you see that painting that he unveiled of himself?
No.
You didn't see that? That was
No.
about maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. King Charles unveiled his self-portrait, and everybody was immediately pointing out all of the demon stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was like there was demons everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you juxtaposed it differently, it was like full on like Baphomet.
God.
You could say that's just a coincidence. And it was like hit the backdrop was all like dark red. It literally looks like his self-portrait looks like he's in hell.
Maybe Satan painted it.
Totally. Satan's like, that's good. You did it good. That's a good self-portrait. It's very accurate. It is pretty red down here. Although Dante suggests that hell is cold and icy. So who knows? But there's a lot of anomalies there with King Charles, and it's weird. And they say that that family name isn't Windsor. It's like Schultz or something like that. And it's from that people from that country from 1948, Khazarians.
Interesting.
So like the Rothschilds basically are cut from the
It,
same jib.
yeah. So how did they get? all these castles and become royalty. They must have taken over. This seems to be a pattern, like over centuries.
Yeah.
They come in and take over.
And they keep their bloodline pure, and power is very closely handed off. Like Meghan Markle, my mom is like very up to date with all of the intrigue going on with the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
So Meghan Markle is about to be basically banished. She's not going to be allowed back into the UK.
Oh,
Her and Harry have moved out here and they've run afoul of the royal family. That could be script,
yeah,
but that's what's going on, right? And they successfully transfer power generation to generation. How are they doing that?
right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not just merit based
Mm.
because there's too many things that could happen, too many chances. I think what happens is if you're born into the culture club, you have to toe the line or you get Princess Diana in the middle of nowhere.
I think so.
I think that's how it
She
works.
got Princess Diana.
She got Princess
Princess
Diana
Diana did. Yeah.
because that was weird.
It was super weird.
Her death was weird.
Uh-huh.
And then my mom says that Camilla, who's King Charles's wife,
Yeah.
is a witch.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that.
She says she's literally a witch. She's like a Jezebel type person.
Mm.
And she hated Princess Diana,
Yeah,
was jealous of her.
of course.
So I don't know. Maybe she's a witch. Maybe she really is a witch.
There's just a lot of like creepy kind of things that are tied to that whole like world, you know what I mean? And I think what we wanted to just talk about today is like the idea that maybe some of these fictitious stories are not completely fictitious
Totally.
and they are somehow tied to these kind of there's a lot of secrecy also with these families. Like there's so we know about like King Charles and we knew about his mom, Queen Elizabeth, but there's all these other families that like are kind of, you know, in the background that nobody really talks about.
Yes. Like the Orsinis
The
and
Orsinis, the Medicis.
the Medicis.
People don't really talk about these people very much,
They stay
but
in the shadows.
they're kind of in the shadows and they're probably all kind of part of the bloodlines also that are ruling the world, you
It's
know?
like I was watching that YouTube video with that dude and he was a Satanist. He said he's a Satanist. And he was doing a tour of that big, it was one of those big chateaus in France. I think it's one of the, it's like the royal palace, kind of like the royal palace for the Brits
Mm-hmm.
royalty. France has a big chateau.
Yeah.
And as you walk around the chateau, there's these statues.
Was it Versailles or something?
Versailles. I think it
Okay.
might have been Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. But anyways, it's this huge palace. And they've got these statues, and these statues are all satanic.
Oh, yeah.
They're all cult and satanic, and occult symbolism is everywhere. So basically, what he's suggesting is France has been run by Satan since time immemorial,
Yeah.
you know? And I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. I think, you know, when Jesus went out into the desert, he's talking to Satan, and Satan says, kneel down before me, and I'll give you all of these. And he shows him all the kingdoms of the world. All the kingdoms of the world have been given into Satan's hands, according to the Bible. So it is conceivable, and maybe some of these people live for centuries
It could
by
be.
drinking blood.
It could be. They could be real vampires.
Yeah, like Al Gore.
Oh, yeah.
He
He used
drinks.
to fly around on his plane with
That
it.
was another thing that Alex Jones said. And Alex Jones, I think, was a reveal the methoder kind of guy.
Yeah,
That was his role. So
maybe
he throws out the truths that need to be sent. And he said that Al Gore has a refrigerator that he keeps blood on hand
on his airplane.
on his plane.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you drinking blood, bro?
Yeah.
He might say, no, no, come on now. And it's like, well, first of all, why do you take private jets to?
I was just gonna say he's all about like conserving and not
Well,
overdoing
carbon is such a horrible thing. It's killing us all, and we need to hurry up and die. But you're gonna take like
private jet.
A private jet, dude. If you're gonna go to Davos, then dude, plan it out 3 months ahead of time and walk there. I'd be like, dude, Al Gore's the man.
Or at least carpool.
Carpool.
There's probably like a bunch of people from like here that are going there. They could all take like the same
Dude,
flight, right?
Al Gore could totally
They
like
could charter a flight.
I would give Al Gore props. Like if so Al Gore proves himself to be a total fake because that dude has tons of money and tons of time on his hands. You know what he could do? He could live stream and do like a a
A Zoom
podcast.
call.
He
Yeah.
could do like a podcast and say, "I'm going to document my journey to Davos and how I'm going to do zero carbon."
Or here I have an even better idea. They came up with this whole Zoom thing during cooties to keep people like away from each other. If they're so worried about like climate change and
Yeah,
like, you know,
and viruses.
all that, why don't they do Davos like via Zoom?
That props. I feel like at least they're because they don't stick to their guns. They
No.
contradict their own narratives.
Yeah.
But he drinks blood.
Yeah.
Maybe at least that's what.
That's what we hear. And I
Look at
mean,
Nancy Pelosi. Does she look
oh,
like she might be a vampire?
yeah.
What the hell is going on with that lady, dude? She's so gnarly. She looks like she literally like wakes up in a coffin and they just like prop her up. She's so gnarly.
That's like, remember that one, the old lady that died recently who was, she was like,
Supreme Court Justice.
no, she
What was
was
her
our
name?
senator.
Ruth Bader.
Yeah,
She was probably
I'm talking about the old lady from California that
Diane Feinstein.
was that her name?
Yeah.
And people kept voting her in like year after year, even like
Uh,
all the young people were voting for this old lady every time. I don't think so.
I saw a picture of her toward the end of her life, and she looked
She looked
demonish.
like she hadn't had her dose of blood for the week.
She looked like a Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. It was just like gross. Dude, how about George Soros?
Oh my God.
Does George Soros strike
He's
you?
about 300 years old.
Oh, George Soros, dude.
Oh my
He
God.
looks like he totally could have been coming across oceans of time.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy, dude.
But then what about like all of these young, beautiful people who seem to keep reappearing time and time again?
Like Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk.
She's
There
just
was
like,
another Erica Kirk in the 60s
what if
who
she's like
looked
the
just like
Tangled
her.
mom? She's like the Tangled mom.
Yeah, that's what I'm
She's
thinking.
old, but she can make herself get sequins and become Vanna White.
Yeah. And then there's like Taylor Swift has one too. There was a actress
Totally.
from like I think the 50s or 60s who looks exactly like
Like
her.
that football player, one night he's gonna walk into her bedroom and she's gonna be in her witchy form and he's gonna go, "Oh, dude, what up?" She's gonna go, "Shut up or I'm gonna kill you." And he's gonna be because that's totally like Game of Thrones revealed the method in a lot
Uh-huh.
of ways. It was a very
I
revealing.
never watched it.
You should watch
What
it.
I should.
Well, because it's revealing the method.
Yeah.
HBO is total culture
Oh,
club.
totally.
So HBO was totally revealing the method with that show. And The Witch is totally manipulating all the power players with sex and seduction, and she's so beautiful, and they all bow to her will, right? But then at night, she becomes the old hag.
Hmm.
So Taylor Swift, totally. Why
Maybe.
is she foisted on everybody everywhere? And now she's with a Super Bowl guy,
Supposedly. That's the
whatever.
story.
It's like, dude, when somebody is foisted on you everywhere, you have to wonder. Like Madonna used to really be foisted.
Same thing. And I've heard that Taylor Swift and probably Madonna, probably a lot of these people, they put out some kind of sort of like subliminal messaging, like in their music and in their concerts that basically sort of mind controls their audience,
I
and
could see that.
they
It blue
become
pills them.
yeah, they become totally. Have you seen how obsessed these fans are?
Oh,
They call
totally.
themselves Swifties or something, which
And Madonna fans were huge too. Like I watched that Truth or Dare movie. Dude, people were obsessed
they're
with her.
obsessed. It's this just made me remember. I just saw this thing that so they call themselves Swifties, the Taylor Swift fans, and I guess I heard that is some kind of like British slang for like being fooled or duped. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So her name is revealing the method.
There's a lot of like symbolism that she uses
What
too.
if Taylor is revealing the method too,
And
because it's a double name?
she's a boy.
Well, Taylor could be also we're tailoring your thoughts. Like
Exactly.
a tailor tailors your
Tailoring
suit.
quickly, swiftly. And Swifties mean like being duped.
I totally think that could be the case.
Yeah.
And she could either be a clone or an ancient witch that's a shapeshifter. I'm not, the people might be like, dude,
They're going to be like,
Firefly,
Firefly's going
you are
off the deep
gullible.
end.
But whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. Everything's opaque. Why is there all these satanic ceremonies for every kind of like concert anymore?
Yeah. They're all super satanic and like evil. Like nobody's just like getting up there and doing a tap dance or something.
No, there's nothing wholesome.
No.
Nothing is wholesome
No.
anymore.
No. And it's like the more satanic and the more raunchy, the better, you know?
And these kids are totally brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of it, you know? And they're going to raise up the next generation of psychopaths.
Yeah. It's like they're kind of just grooming the kids to have a like debaucherous lifestyle,
I think that's it.
you know?
I think that's it. And I think that so the gist of this episode is it's conceivable that an ancient off-world spiritual entity, I call it Satan, some people might call it something else. I know you and David Icke both like to say whatever it's called. But there's an off-world ancient entity that is controlling the culture club.
Right.
The culture club might have members that are appear to be human beings but are actually vampires. And the culture club might also have members that appear to be human beings that are actually clones.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's conceivable that we're being deceived by the people that they're foisting in front of us.
Yeah. And these people, I put in quotes,
Quote unquote.
um, I think it could be possible that they've been around for hundreds of years,
Totally.
because, that would also answer some of the questions that I've had, which is like, how do these people keep all of this evilness a secret? Well, if you're born into it and you've been, participating in this for hundreds of years, it's not a problem to keep it a secret.
Plus, they just unalive you if you look like you're going to even step out of line.
Right. So, but like maybe,
Like, what if Britney Spears tried to step out of line? Because look at now, she got
yeah,
DUI the other night.
I think so. I
You
think
know,
I think it's conceivable that these these people have been doing it for so long that they're not new. Nobody's new to the scene. They've all been in there for so long. But then once in a while, maybe somebody new does like marry in or something, and then they can't quite follow the rules, and
for sure.
they either become unalived, they become crazy, or they die of a drug overdose, or
Like,
commit suicide.
remember David Goldberg or David Goldstein, whatever his name was?
Yeah.
He came out and could be fake, could be controlled opposition, but if it's real, what he was saying is, I'm from that country from 1948, and I'm privy to the evil plans, and I can't go through with it. I got to tell everybody what's going on because it's just too evil.
Mm-hmm.
That might be true.
Yeah.
There might be people who find that to be the case. They're born into the culture club. Remember that one lady that was on Oprah, and Oprah was like, "So you grew up doing
Oh yeah.
satanic rituals in your house?" And she was like, "Yeah, and we'd kill the baby." And yeah, no, I just thought it was normal. I thought everybody was a Satanist.
Yeah.
And now she's on Oprah telling it. She probably got unalived after that.
So that could very well be happening. And some of these people could be vampires.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah.
They could be vampires or they could be really old. And like Hillary could be like an old ancient witch.
So like maybe when they start looking old to us, maybe they're actually like 300 years old, not
Yeah.
not 80, you know.
There were probably once, this is my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
So maybe there once was a little girl named Hillary Clinton.
Mhm.
And she was just a sweet little girl. But at some point, she got unalived, and a witch took her identity and became who that was because the Culture Club realized that for whatever reason, that was the person that we want to use. Because, or she was just born into the Culture Club, or she's a psychopath. And
Yeah.
I think that's another thing too, is
I think it's another way to enter the system.
remember Ryan Reynolds?
Psychopath. Yeah.
Because someone didn't someone say Ryan Reynolds? They were like a teacher
He,
of his.
yeah, I've heard he's a total psychopath.
So, they probably went, well, you weren't born into the Culture Club, but
But you're a
you're
psychopath,
a
so
psychopath, so that's good.
you get the job.
There you go. Good. You're into the club. Welcome in. By the way, here's your business card. What does your business card say?
Psychopath.
No. What does the business card say when you
Shut up.
So that he's got to shut up. So he probably joined I think I was thinking Brad Pitt too. Brad Pitt probably wasn't born. He's like from the Midwest. He probably wasn't born into the Culture
He
Club.
grew up in like some trailer park somewhere.
Totally. What he did was he sold his soul so he could get out of Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
Same with Eminem.
So, what's worse, living in a trailer park in Oklahoma or selling your soul and
Selling your soul.
being eternally
Totally.
committed to Satan?
That's got to be way worse.
Uh-huh.
Because you might have lavish
I
funds.
think like okay, this is might be a slight epiphany too. Like I think that's how some of the things like Hollywood kind of get these people. Because have you ever noticed how so many of the Hollywood stars came from like these really like trashy backgrounds, like they grew up in trailer parks and stuff.
Ethan Hawke
They've
was in a little town in Canada.
yeah, they've got like, their families were not good and stuff like that, and they become these A-list actors. I think those are always the ones that appeal to Satan and to the corrupt the corrupt
Elites.
elites that run like Hollywood because they know that those people are so desperate to get out of that life that they had and they'll do anything and they're easily manipulated because they'll sell their soul to be famous.
What about somebody like Justin Bieber? So
Mm-hmm.
his mom clearly groomed him and sold him to the Culture Club.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have some special dispensation where he can leave and he can get out of it if he wants? Or is he just toast? Now he's already become their boy.
I think what happens to those people, like Justin Bieber, Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, remember she went
Remember the
crazy and
name.
like she tattooed her face. And she was so cute. Um, I think that their parents sell them to the culture club and or sell them to Satan, and I think that they become so messed up in the industry, they probably get abused and raped or whatever and MK Ultra mind control, and they probably get so messed up that they can't ever really leave it, you know.
You know who it makes me think of is you know who Rose McGowan is?
Yeah.
She looks like she got like tortured.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like she's a really troubled woman. And it's because of gnarly shit she had to do for fame.
Right.
And it looks like she might have come out and tried to like spill the beans,
Yeah.
but they just went, "You're just insane.
Yeah. That's what they like to do. They label them insane.
You just shave your head and take some drugs and we'll put you in rehab."
Right.
And rehab, I have learned, is
Code.
culture, it's code.
Yeah, it's code.
It's code for we've been working with it.
Yeah.
That's where they go. Because I think there is some people who try to get out of it.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell, maybe.
I think there are. I think like you were saying, most people have good in them and they can recognize the evil and
Yeah.
they try to get out of it and it just doesn't work because
So the white pill is don't ever join the culture club.
don't don't be part of Hollywood. Don't be
Don't.
part of any of that stuff.
You can't. And
No.
even if it's alluring and you think, well, whatever, dude, you're going to get ensnared and
Mm,
you're never going to be able to get out. And I'm thinking my hypothesis, because it's all opaque and behind closed doors, it's all secret. I think they have to do really gnarly, evil shit more and more as
Yeah.
they get older.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like Brad Pitt's probably like murdered people to still be around,
To be relevant.
to be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's probably had to do gnarly bad stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not, that's the white Pitt. Do not join the culture club.
Yeah.
And if you're born into it, leave it.
Yeah.
You're better off getting unalived and saving your soul
Right.
than going down,
Right.
going down and doing the bidding of Satan.
Because do you really want to be a vampire?
It doesn't sound,
If
what's so funny is
you get bit on the neck.
that's what Anne Rice's story is about, is like, so Christian Slater, he's interviewing Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt's a vampire.
Yeah.
Could be revealing the method. Anne Rice's Total Culture Club.
Yeah.
So Brad Pitt has been around for hundreds of years, and he's telling Christian Slater, and Christian Slater goes, "Dude, I want to be a vampire." And he's like, "You think you want this?" And he's all allured by it. I think some people do want to be vampires.
Mhm.
I think that's why Twilight was so big.
They think it sound yeah, and remember she wanted to be. She wanted to be a
I
vampire
never watched any of that. So is that what the thing
and
was? So he's a
so
vampire.
he's a vampire and she ends up they get married and she wants to be a vampire with him so that she can like, live forever with him. So he turns her into a vampire. So I
I
think
think that might be revealing the
I
method.
think it is, and I think that's what happens with some of these people too. They're it's alluring and they're lured in by it and they think it's going to be cool, so they want to join it. But I don't think it works out well.
Yeah, it doesn't work out good.
No.
You'll end up getting Amy Winehouse.
Yeah,
A lot of them just die from a drug overdose, which is probably like a
that's
gruesome, horrible murder.
that's code for
You got hacked up.
murder.
You got hacked up, and it was a drug
Mhm.
overdose. Yeah. What does white pill?
Well, white pill could be next time you watch a vampire movie or a Dracula movie, look for little clues about like what may be really happening.
Because
You
revealing the
know,
method is a real thing.
it is.
It's what they feel like they have to do. They have to tell us the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're watching a horror movie, not all horror movies, some horror movies are probably just stupid.
Well, some of the like low budge, like teen horror movies, I don't think there's any real deep meaning in those. But those people, I think, copy the formats and the ideas from like the bigger ones.
They do.
I'm starting to think that like all of these big like blockbuster films are somehow revealing the method.
I
Like
think so.
I think all of the superhero movies
Oh, big time.
are big time. And I was talking about this recently with a little fan that I have, and he was like, "But those were based on comic books," and I'm like, "But the comic books were like the original, like revealing the
Like
method."
I was thinking, like Iron Man was huge
Hmm.
for Robert Downey Jr. because Robert Downey Jr. prior to Iron Man was a drug addict for a living.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden he's just like, I am Iron Man.
right.
So
Like he just had a comeback, and it was so huge.
please.
Yeah, got his
Anyways,
teeth fixed, and then he was a big star.
maybe Hunter Biden's gonna do like
Yeah.
a similar. So, anyways, uh Iron Man is kind of like man becoming a cyborg. And we've been talking a lot about that, like with the new headphones
Yeah,
and with the brain chips.
yeah,
They're kind of guiding us and corralling us into become a cyborg.
yeah.
We want you to become a cyborg.
It's an improvement.
It's an
It'll
enhancement.
it'll be better because the brain just isn't really good enough.
So Iron Man was kind of revealing the method in that regard,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and all of the like the Guardians of the Galaxy, it's got a lot of symbolism in it too, with like, like there's the big bad evil guy that's
That's
like
it.
ruling over everybody
That's the
and
white pill.
yeah,
When you're watching, you mentioned Godzilla.
yeah,
When you're watching Godzilla, ask yourself, what is this a metaphor for? What is this what's the symbolism here? What is this calling attention to? Because what I learned in film class is that most films are a metaphor. It's an allegory. It's representing something in the real world.
Totally.
So that's the white pill for this episode is when you're hearing narratives about royal families, when you're watching movies, horror movies, ask yourself, what's the metaphor? And could this be revealing the method? And open your mind to the notion that there could be supernatural things.
There could be outrageous stuff that you see in movies that you think is purely science fiction that is based on some aspect of
Totally.
truth.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, like, I don't know, what if beaming up is revealing the method?
Well, you know what? I keep hearing about like people are talking about sort of that concept of like not really time travel, but like sort of making yourself go to another place.
By disintegrating and reintegrating?
Yeah, and that they were showing us that in Star Trek in like when did Star Trek come out? Was it the 60s?
60s?
So that makes me wonder if they had some kind of technology way back then that they were, experimenting with,
Because then they
you
came
know?
out with Jeff Goldblum and The Fly,
Yeah,
and that was wholly the predicate of The Fly. He was trying to teleport himself from one pod to the other one
yeah,
by disintegrating himself and reintegrating himself in the other pod.
right.
So what if that is because my my friend who's a Trump supporter, he was telling me because he was in the military and his brother was in the military. He was like, "Oh yeah, dude, the base down in Antarctica is a gateway to another dimension. That's what it is." And I mean, some people are going to be like, "Whatever," but
What about CERN?
sir,
That whole thing
what
that
are they trying to do? What's their mission?
they're trying to like tap into evil, right?
They're
And
trying to open a portal so that demons can enter into our dimension.
yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like a good idea,
So
right?
it's conceivable that
Why would you
there
want to do that?
it's conceivable that there is interdimensional travel
Exactly.
and that maybe there is technology that we have perfected that allows for that and they don't want us to know about it.
Yeah. And maybe people have been traveling through these interdimensional um, ways for like
That's what I was thinking
hundreds of
was
years.
really going on with Greenland. I was thinking Greenland's really got interdimensional portals.
Well, so our audience should listen to our Greenland episode if they haven't already, because we do talk about some of those things in there, that possibly it's a gateway to other
Other
dimensions.
dimension.
Hmm.
So basically, the gist of this episode is white pill. Keep an open mind and understand that horror movies can be symbolic, and royal families are replete with secrecy and bloodlines and what's going on there. I don't know, but ask
And
questions.
psychopathy.
Psychopathy, blood drinking. There's some weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
So ask these questions and have an open mind to even fantastical realities being the case.
Yeah.
I think that's what I have learned to do.
I think so too.
It's maybe 350-year-old like vampires are existing and calling the shots and George Sorosing us. Dude, that guy looks like a 350-year-old vampire.
I know.
He totally does. And his son hangs out with Marina Abramovich and goes and does spirit cooking.
She's a total vampire.
I think she is.
Oh my God.
And so, his son's hanging out with it. Everything kind of leans towards. Plus, like Elon Musk and his mom, they look kind of like vampire.
They do. They totally do. Yeah.
Anything
And
else?
yeah, I mean, like, how do these people just seem to get like propelled to like these high positions?
It's all nepotism
Yeah.
and like this happened to be like George Bush. George Bush Jr. gets elected after George Bush Sr.
Yeah.
And Prescott Bush was a real big person.
I mean, it's just, and everything in Hollywood, that's all nepotism too. You know, it,
Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez both become the huge stars.
mm-hmm.
Sean Penn lives right next door.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
All those dudes in The Outsiders become the A-list?
Yeah, they were chosen.
So weird.
Uh-huh.
It's all weird. They're all clones. Maybe they're all clones.
Maybe.
Matt Dillon's a
They're all
clone.
vampires.
He's a
They're
vampire
all
clone.
vampires.
They're vampire
Yeah.
clones. That's awesome. Well, we're a conspiracy theory podcast. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, we go there.
All right.
Bye.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.